Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Hollywood Arcade. I'm Steven, and for today's video we're going to be going over Wandavision episode 3. There was a lot more added in this video, some new elements, still a big mystery, but they give us some more hints, and I'm going to break them down with you today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Now before we go on, I do have to give you a potential spoiler warning. I can't guarantee that I'm going to guess at any of these Easter eggs correctly or any of the hints that they've given us, but you never know. Every once in a while one of them hits the mark, so there you have it. Soft spoiler warning ahead. Continue if you dare. From the very beginning of the episode, we can see that the show's mysterious theme and tone is at the forefront as Wanda gets examined by the doctor. Vision is very carefully asking about the nature of her pregnancy and what would it mean if it was only a matter of hours since she became pregnant. I think he says 12 hours at one point. All the way up to the point where he ends up telling Wanda, confessing after the doctor leaves, that he feels that there's something very wrong there, just to see that reality glitches and time resets slightly, and he kind of goes back into his role of being the nurturing husband, a la a sitcom family type of a trope. Now the surreal nature of their environment is shown by their neighbor Herb using his hedge trimmers to cut through a cinder block wall. The moment is played for comedy, but I believe that there's actually a clue here that Herb is potentially an agent of some kind, or the fact that he's cutting through the wall is representative of he actually trying to cut through something in order to get to Wanda, or perhaps get to something. And I believe it's the nature of Wanda's powers that are making it seem as silly as it is that he's just mistakenly cutting through a cinder block wall dividing their house. Another thing in this episode is that Wanda's powers are on full display, in particular the fact that she's losing control of them, all the way from the fact that they are acting out in line with her pregnancy and her contractions, to the fact that they seem to be acting on behalf of her subconscious. We can see this in the way that the butterflies on the crib carousel come to life without her intending them to, and she opens up the window and lets them out. Of course, we get to the meat and the potatoes of the episode where they speak about the children themselves. Of course, at the time, they think it's just one son, and Wanda wants to name him Tommy. Vision wants to name him Billy. I really enjoy that Vision wants to name him Billy after William Shakespeare, and he uses the famous quote, "All the world's a stage, all the men and women merely players." And I believe that this is kind of a subtle allusion to the nature of the world that they live in, or the town of Westview at least. And of course we discovered that Wanda and Vision are in fact having twins who are going to be named both Tommy and Billy. And this is the first nod from the show's creators that they are actually following the source material to a degree. If you watch my previous videos, you'll know that in the comic books, Wanda and Vision do have twin children who are named Tommy and Billy, and they end up being pieces of the soul of a demon named Mephisto. Towards the end of the episode, after the twins arrive, we see a moment where Wanda is reflecting on her past for the very first time, and she says that she was born a twin to Geraldine. This is the first time in the show that they've actually acknowledged in the narrative events that took place in the MCU at large. And Geraldine mentions that he was killed by Ultron. At the same time, Vision is outside of the house speaking with Agnes and Herb. So Geraldine ends up being thrown out of a TV static-like barrier surrounding an actual town of Westview. Now this is the first time that the show shows the audience that Westview is an actual town. And you'll notice that just moments before Geraldine is thrown out, it's daytime in Westview in their eyes, but outside obviously it's nighttime, so this could be maybe a clue that Wanda is in fact controlling this pocket reality inside this town, which is why there would be a barrier surrounding it. But there may be even more nefarious reasons as to why there is this kind of bubble surrounding the town. Now, of course, all these agents of some kind, I'm assuming agents of S.W.O.R.D., surround Geraldine as she's been thrown out. They're most likely S.W.O.R.D. agents, and we can see that they've set up camp around this barrier and they're examining it.
She came here because we're all...
Stop it!
Now that we've been shown a little bit more about the town of Westview, we can come up with a few guesses about what Herb was going to say and that Agnes stopped him from saying. 1, maybe they're there to help Wanda in some fashion. 2, maybe they're there to help somebody else. Maybe this has something to do with the demon Mephisto that I've brought up a few times. We know that he in the comic books is involved with the birth of Billy and Tommy, so perhaps they're agents of his and this is something mystical in nature. Or 3, perhaps they're being held there by Wanda after a fashion for some reason or another. Well, as the show's slowly unfolding, I'm having a good time guessing at all these little Easter eggs that they've given, and I hope I'm able to provide you guys with some inside scoop, at least from a comic book nerd standpoint, and I thank you for watching my videos. If you enjoyed, or if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I come out with a new video. And if you enjoyed the content, of course, please hit the thumbs up button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button and let me know in the comments down below. Either way, I'd love to chat with you guys. Thanks again for stopping by the Hollywood Arcade. I'm Steven, and I'll see you guys next week for another WandaVision episode. Bye-bye.